Here you go. Let me. Matt's up next, but I'm gonna interrupt him like Jenny interrupts me all the time.
There you go.
There you go. Here's from the chat. Miss Anita Ball wants to know what's your favorite tool to work with: a lathe, CNC, or 3D printer.
Ooh, now that's tough. That's
It's a
like
rough one, huh?
that's choosing between your favorite kid. I
No,
love
that's not
them.
hard at all.
I love them all equally.
This one.
Boy, I have a story, but I can't tell it on here. But I have one that I didn't really like one today. I can tell you that.
I would probably say first off is the CNC because I love the design side of it, and then I bought the CNC because I wanted to learn how to do all the different stuff and the cut out different things, and it'd be cool, and it'd save me time because it could be off doing its thing when it's cutting, and I can go in, sand something, do whatever else in the shop. But especially when I first got it, I found that I was standing there going, "Oh, this thing's cool," and then it's done, and I'm like, "Oh, well, I didn't get anything else done." But
I get to watch it.
I think the next one would probably be now the 3D printer, is because the same aspect is that I can take and design something. Most of it's the 3D printer got it. It is more just for fun, for the coolness factor, make cool stuff. But the other day I was getting ready to do something with a lathe, and I've got a single stage Harbor Freight with a bag. Well, the coupler that I got doesn't fit over the inlet. And so I got it taped on there. Well, it got cold here and the tape gave up, and I go, man, I need to buy a coupler that actually fits this. And then I had that epiphany, that, wait a minute, I have a 3D printer. So I printed it, and I made, it's an actual useful thing other than, hey, this is cool to make, but and that was still cool to make because, I solved a problem. So, and then the lathe I have fun with it because 3D printer and even the CNC, it takes up a little bit of time. You got to plan out how long you're going to carve. Lathe, I can go out there and turn for a little bit, and if I get tired, I can turn it off and go back in the house and go from there. So
yeah, that's the cool thing about 3D printers is, that's what got me started in my madness here. But yeah, just when you need certain things out in the shop, and I've done the same thing, even with all this junk sitting behind me, I've done the same thing. I'm like, man, I need to buy one of those. And it's like, wait a minute, I can make it. Why do I want to buy it? But it's the cool thing is that you come across things in the shop sometimes where it's like, man, I need this. And it's like, well, I've got the capability to make it. So let's figure it out. And, and that's a cool thing about 3D printers. And now with these bamboos, you can have it super quick. I mean, like boom, you go in there, design it, print it, make sure it works. And then, it's pretty cool.
As far as talking about watching it, it's supposed to work while you're working. So as far as watching it while it's working and you don't get anything done, one of the first things we did on mine was a box, and I screen shared with Joey, and we sat here for 3.5 hours and watched that thing make a box.
he was the enabler on that. It was like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna eventually get one, but I wasn't like, I was happy with my printers and everything's going fine. And then Jake gets the X1 Carbon, and then we sat there and we literally sat here and watched that dang thing print.
It was awesome.
Freaking hours till it was
a good
done.
Work day. It was a good work day, man.
And then when it came out, I was like, he showed me, and I was like, dude, that thing is that clean. I was I was like sold. And then it got to the point where it was like, he kept asking me every day, did you buy it yet? Did you buy it? Have you done it? And I'm like, no, Jake, not yet. And then it was like next day we'd talk, did you get it yet? Until finally, I pulled the trigger.
He's trying to label me as an instigator, but it's not true.
An influencer.
Yeah.
Influencer.
Yeah, there you go.
I hope you spend your money.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of the same too, is that the 3D printer I had put off on it. In fact, my son, my oldest son, one of his friends got a new printer, and he brought one a different brand, and it sat on the kitchen table for 2 months, and I never touched it because it was a lot of, oh well, now I got to learn another program, and I'm doing all this other, and the auto level, it didn't auto level, and it's kind of involved. And then when the bamboos came out, Black Friday, I was like, and then I went out and saw Jake, and we were talking, and he showed me some of the stuff, and I'm like, yeah. And so I pulled the trigger.
Yeah. It's super fun.
Oh yeah.